I'm Mark Rodito. I make music, I make electronic dance music. Producers like me struggle between two worlds, the performing world and producing world, where you are in your studio and you're creating. And sometimes it's hard to navigate those worlds. When I'm out touring, there's definitely a loss of routine. Like, that's why when I go on tour, I think after the first or second day, I would always be like, oh man, I can't wait to be back home. It's interesting because home is also my workspace, and it's almost like there is no separation from home and work. I think what's different now is that I've learned to actually get into the habit of doing work more consistently. Doesn't matter if I don't finish anything today, there's still tomorrow, as long as you do it, every day. I would get into that mode of creating. I would wake up around like 6 a.m., make my coffee, and then meditate for maybe about like 20 minutes just to kind of like free my mind. And after that, I watch some inspirational videos, usually videos of artists like really doing good work, and I think watching them and hearing their successes kind of like inspires me, to do something good today. And so after that, I go for a run, I get back and sit down and try to make some music. As artists, there would be days when it will be frustrating. There will be days when you don't feel inspired. You sit down, you show up, but nothing happens. For me, I make a beat, oh, okay, it sounds good. I lay down chords, all right, sounds good. But sometimes there'll be days where it just goes nowhere. I think the trick there is to do it every day so that when inspiration comes, and it will indeed come, you could just grab it and embrace it, and it just really like informs your work. Like, you feel it when inspiration comes. It's interesting because electronic music has so much, it's such a big genre that you could go from like the ultra avant-garde weird stuff into like really like club bangers, and I try to listen to as much variety as possible. I feel like that makes my music interesting. Like, there are more palettes to choose from. They're seeing or hearing other people's ideas and like, oh, you know what? That could actually work for this track that I'm working on. With me dropping my moniker Spaz Kid, that puts me. I was already, I think, just being a performer and an artist, you're already vulnerable. But the thing with Spaz is that it's a moniker, it's a different character from me. It almost feels like I'm hiding behind this thing. And once I decided to change to my real name, I just felt it's more truer to myself. I became more truer to myself, and the hope is that the music that I make moving forward, I just want to reflect, I guess, more authenticity and more vulnerability. You gotta share your own version of truth, because I think that's such a universal thing. I think most of us are fighting for the truth, or finding truth, in whatever we do, and I guess musicians and artists are trying to kind of like share that, and when people see it, we hope that they could relate to it. That there are so many people who are like me. There are so many people who share the same stories as me. They may or may not be Filipino, but they share the same stories as me. Like the context of where I'm sharing this from, going off on inspiring people and them being really unashamed of who they are. One artist that comes to mind is Frida Robots. Frida Robots, I know, is Filipino. And I think a few years ago, he was really very active in playing shows and stuff like that. And I would always come up to his show, and I would just feel a sense of inspiration seeing somebody who looks like me up there. It gave me permission to really pursue music and be myself. And I see that with my fans too. A lot of my fans are either Filipino Americans or Asian Americans. And my hope is that me pursuing music and being creative gives them permission to pursue whatever they want. People refer to me as their kuya, which is, older brother in Filipino. And yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're Filipino or not. Everybody calls me kuya. And so, yeah, in a weird way, I'm like this older brother to my fans, which is cool, and I embrace that, if it speaks to them. It's also a heavy burden to carry to represent everybody when I'm just only one guy, you know? And I think that's always the cross that artists of color have to carry for themselves. They just can't be themselves. They just can't be, like for myself, Mark. I just can't be Mark.